Hey everybody, welcome to Unit 2, our Scientific Foundations. This unit is composed mainly of two chapters, Exercise Physiology, which is Chapter 4, and then Exercise, the Energy Cost of Physical Activity, which is Chapter 6 in the Howley text. Now look, there's a lot of content in these two chapters. So you need to start early and you need to outline while you're reading these chapters. You need to have a list of terms. You need to understand graphs. You need to understand tables. So I would read the chapter. I'd start with chapter 4 and I would outline it, take notes, and then view my videos. This test 1 is chapters 1 and 2, which we just covered, and not as much on chapter 2 since you took 2 quizzes on that. And then chapter 4, the significant portion of test 1 is from chapter 4, exercise physiology. It is a super interesting chapter. I love it. I have a master's in exercise physiology, so I really love this stuff. And then chapter 2, energy cost of physical activity. This is the same thing as metabolic calculations. Now, for this energy cost of physical activity, I've given you a couple of supplemental assistance videos. One is on units of measure and negative components. So if you don't understand mils per kg, like what the multiplication times the negative 1 is, so if you have a negative exponent, do you understand what that means? If not, watch this short video. It's a good one. And then if you need help converting units, I've given a short video. The reason I have these videos is I provided them to my face-to-face class because some students had been a while since they'd had math. They couldn't remember some of their algebraic equations and how to use negative exponents. So this is my assistance for them. In this unit, you have some lectures. This is really about 2 lectures, maybe 1.5. I've just divided it up into shorter bits so that I wasn't just talking nonstop. Please view each one. Don't just click on one and then click on the other and then click on the other. I don't even look at your checklist to see if you've done them. Your college students, your young adults, if there's a lecture and it's required, you need to view it. You need to view it from beginning through the end. So now for energy cost of physical activity, there's going to be multiple videos. So I've posted 2 now, and I will post the additional ones probably by the time you're viewing this video. What do you have to do for this unit? Well, you're going to need to view this content, and then you're going to have a test. Test 1 is going to be chapters 1 and 2, which I said previously, along with chapter 4. And then test 2 will be 8 metabolic calculations or problems. Let me show you what's going to pop up on the home page. So this is the overview. Here are the parts that the lectures that you need to view. For chapter 6, when you see this, there's going to be more, but right now, this is the first edit. Here's converting units of measure with negative exponents, which I talked about. Then I've given you some sample questions so that you know how in depth I'm going to ask questions. So what is the primary energy source for all biological work? Is it fat, protein, ATP, or NADH? And so I've given you some sample questions here. And then for your test 2, I've also given you some sample questions. A client walks on a treadmill with a 0.0% grade at a speed of 2.8 miles per hour. What is their estimated steady state VO2? Okay, so I cover these in the lecture. There's examples in the book. I worked through these. I'm going to actually provide you practice problems too if you want to work on those. There's a quiz, and each one of these is divided up so you can get the question. You can calculate it and see if you get the answer correct. So multiple ways. If you put the energy in, you will do well. I've also posted some clarity regarding quizzes and tests, because I know that there were some dates that were missing from the calendar. So I just put a note on the announcement. So I've extended some quiz dates and adjusted the due date for test 1. So the pre-participation assessment and cardiovascular disease risk factor assessment, you should have already finished those by the time you're reading this. Some of you may need a little extra time. Those are due by 11:59 Tuesday, July 16th, which you should be reading this, so you have until 11:59 p.m. tonight if you're reading it on Tuesday, July 16th. Chapter 1 quiz. Why would you take that? You would take that so you can see how well you did with the content, and also I use a lot of the questions from Chapter 1 on Test 1. I've done the same thing for Chapter 4 exercise physiology. I've given you 20 questions that I'm going to, or similar ones that I'm going to use. So if you get those right, if not, look in your lecture notes or in the textbook, get the right answer, take it again. Quizzes you can take 3 times. Larger tests you can only take once. So those are due the 22nd of July. Then test 1 will be due by 11:59 on July 23rd. I extended that to give you a little more time. You're going to have to make good use of your time, though. You don't want to wait until the last minute because there's a lot of content. Test 2 will be a short turnaround. It'll be due on July 29th, and then the final test will be on the last day of class, and then your exam is actually your individual training program. But the last test, which is test 3, will be due 11:59. Okay, quizzes you can take up to 3 times. I'll record the highest grade. A lot of content for this unit. Start early. If you have questions, please ask me. Send me an email sooner than later. I love this content. I think you'll do really well with this content, but you cannot wait until the last minute to get this done. All right, good luck, and I hope you enjoy this unit.